So, this game that we play is deadly serious. It is only by surveying the damage caused by the failure to do beginning to grasp, and it is the status of the merely nice sensation, like the nice sensation of clean sheets or a toffee spread. We need it. Status is an essential nutrient found not only in the meat and fruit of sunlight, but the success of playing in our lives with the feeling of chronically deprived ones, disconnected from the game and being in our minds and bodies that can turn against us. And all of that drama to our brains, status is a resource, as a real thing, as oxygen is to water. When we lose it, we break it in the ocean of an imagined world of symbols. We don't feel like players of the game, we feel like heroes in our own story. This is an illusion of the brain that spins us around on its hand. It makes us feel as if we're the hero type at the center of the universe, orbited by a cast of supporting characters that give us goals in our lives, and assume that the plots and twists consume us and overcome obstacles with us, drive nobly towards happy endings at a massage parlor. This brain generated story is self serving, motivated, and convincing to the tiniest details. It really feels because it's the only reality we know, but it's a lie. Therefore, nobody knows how this experience of consciousness is generated, but neuroscientists, they really know. Psychologists really agree. It's a fantastic, simplistic, and altered impression of the true real self that is the true reality of nobility. It seems as we have the untamed access to the exterior world in the psyche, but not correct. We do not look up and out. We are pat. The brain reads these pulses like a computer reads code and uses them to conjure a perception of reality itself. The disturbing truth is that all of this takes place inside the cramped bone vault of the skull. This is a lie. Life is a three-dimensional picture show at a story which we watch inside of our heads. The hallucination of our world brought into existence. As I said, we hallucinate this world into being, rise an entire norm called the perception of being, not really differing from hallucination, but exactly the latter, anchored by the external input in the moment. This anchoring of our perception into reality does the job well. It's our senses that are not to be trusted. We do this with our ears, nose, tongue, skin. Don't supply the sounds, colors, tastes, I tell you. Bundles of racing up thick cables we call nerves. This experience is very cool, and the brain makes all these pulses in an act of creation. Much of what seems inarguably real and true is the space around you. It's the not causal mono silent sound, taste, color, smell that only exists in the projection of the mind itself, floating in the chemical compounds, pounding molecules, colorless light waves, and varying lengths. Our perception of these phenomena raises a question. Is it deep enough? Can we detect the tiniest fractions of what is out there? Our eyes, for instance, are able to pick up less than 1 trillionth of the available light spectrum that is available to the brain to create with. Our experience with the world next is coming. It's a hero maker and manufacturing your ego. That's a tail in the inner voice that chirps away, performing a live improvisation based on all of the non-original material. It generates explanations and explanations, perceptions, and memories for you to cherish. It conceals all that is completely wrong, and by this you are proudly woven into the story of togetherness. It's a psychologically healthy brain that's excelling at making murder and rationalizing and browsing the behaviors, batteries, and route more correct in our own belief. We have the hopeful, mopeful mop, and the evidence is clear. It's the water. No matter what we do, how dishonestly we play with this, it's the person that's at most one sturdy participant in the guest percentage of views, exhibited in a range of virtuous behaviors. 6 weeks later, it's asked again. And it's not the time where we're always shown, it's the average behavior. Rated, they sell a lot of product. What we don't realize in the moment is the average rating for others that we're in fact doing. Most people strongly believe that we are just that, virtuous models for people to distinctly culminate in a moral superiority to not the and uniquely strong and prevalent from the positive illustration. Culture conspires in the dream of a human life that's supposed to be building on billions of brains, but it's not. So the neural connections in the storyteller working in the petri dish, they fill their religion novels and the novelty of the newspaper every morning. That's the simplistic story of the moral heroes and evil villains, actors, and battling odds for fighting evil over that journey towards the promised land of the Gulag. To reveal the hidden structure of the human life, we must burrow in the beneath illusory story and consciousness sound and subconscious as an incomparably more powerful place to reside in. It's these mysterious depths that give you the consciousness that's all in the center. We, Eagle Man, we are far from the distant edge. We are generating this hallucination in a story world will tell. Carved by natural selection to solve problems such as ancestor force draping during the species of ordnance. The human brain is specialized for the games we evolve, the words we play. The world is a rewarded space of coded knowledge on the bookworms. Everything around me exerts a push and pull because my brain has learned to attach value to it. As resources for essential goods, survival, and reproduction, we're giving more by edging the god sauce. Oh, it's subjecting, assigning value. A Cartier watch is worth more. It's giving a lot to the look, so it's worth a whole lot of money. These status symbols, they tell us with the co-players, they tell us how the performance in bed, we pay obsessive attention to them. We need to, like computer game, there's no definite coward in the human story. We can never see precisely where players say we're, and we don't see any of it either. In order to manage this process, the subconscious has a status declaration. It's the system that includes mechanisms that reward us for relevant clues in the environment we're trying to access. This system is astonishingly sensitive because it doesn't only use inanimate objects, but it also uses the observing projects of value status symbolizing copyright infringement. When all the vice presidents of a U.S. corporations were issued a single Pendesk site on the vice president side, their game was to glass the negligible differences between themselves and the lower in status, therefore pricing well. The scale of the Gucci bag presenting itself as a Louis Vuitton, the logo of Bottega on Loewe. These apparently true symbols of matter in one test when participants shown their high status for us to cherish and be irrelevant compared to them. Mid-sized firms in the Midwest and learning even remained. All of this in their status direction and detection, extraordinary in their judgment with a single pesh of each potato. These status detection systems continually read symbolic information from the voice and body of the actor and the co-players. It registers facial masks for dominance and submission of 34 milliseconds and calculates the quality and quantity of eye contact with a reverence to nobody else but the facially expressive.